Today in class, you are going to be going over lesson 2, opposites and absolute value. And I'm going to play this, hopefully you can plug your headphones in and do this with your partner. Everything that I write up here needs to be in your note sheet, and you feel free to pause it or rewind it if something wasn't unclear, okay? So example 1, every number has an opposite. So locate the number 8 and its opposite on the number line. Explain how they are related to 0. Okay, locate 8 on the number line. 8 is right here, okay? I know the opposite of 8 is negative 8, okay? And there's a reason. 8 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces away from 0 if this was our starting point. Okay, and negative 8 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces away from 0 on the number line. Okay, so now I know they're opposites of each other because they're both 8 spaces away in totally different directions. One is 8 spaces to the right on the positive side, one is 8 spaces to the left on the negative side. Okay, so I would like you and your partner to pause your video right now and try to do number 1. Locate the opposites of the numbers on the number line. You don't have to draw it in. You can just use your use the number line as a reference point. And when you are done trying these, hit play, and I'm going to tell you the answers, and you can see if you are right. The opposites of the number on the number line. Okay, 9's opposite. 9 is 9 spaces away from 0, our starting point on our number line. So 9 spaces in the other direction would be negative 9. Negative 2 is down 2 spaces to the left from 0 on our number line. So the opposite is going to be up positive 2 spaces from 0, so it's going to be positive 2. 4 is 4 spaces to the right from our starting point of 0. So its opposite is going to be 4 spaces to the left, which would be negative 4. Negative 7 is down 7 spaces from 0, our starting point. So its opposite has to be up 7 spaces. So it would be positive 7. Okay, so hopefully you got those right when you paused it. Now we're going to go to example 2. I'm going to do A for you, and then you guys can pause the video and try it and talk about it with with your partners. Write the integer that represents the opposite of each situation. Explain what 0 means in each situation. So they want us to write the opposite. So with part A, I'm going to start with the integer that's actually represented. Then I'm going to write its opposite. Then I'm going to explain what 0 means. 100 feet above sea level is positive 100 as an integer. The opposite of positive 100 is negative 100. And 0 in this situation would equal sea level. Okay? Please pause the video right now and try B and C with your partner. Talk about what you think and hit play to hear the answers. It's 32 degrees below 0, so here are the answers. The integer would be represented as negative 32. The opposite would be positive 32. And 0 would be 0 degrees. No degrees above 0 or below. Okay. The next one, a withdrawal of $25 would be negative 25. The opposite of that would be positive 25. Okay. And 0 would mean no money in your checking account, no money, no withdrawals, no deposits. And let's flip it over and try the next page. Okay, now we're going on to example 2. The opposite of an opposite of a number. Wow, that's a mouthful. What is the opposite of 8? How can we illustrate this number on a number line? So it's going to actually walk us through the steps of how it is illustrated on a number line. What number is 8 units to the right of 0? Well, I'm actually going to put 0 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4, down 5, down 6, down 7, down 8. I'm hoping that you also take a moment to number the number line. Okay, if 0 is our starting point, 8 spaces to the right is positive 8. How can you illustrate locating the opposite of 8 on this number line? What is the opposite of 8? Well, if 8 spaces to the right of 0 was positive 8, I'm going to go 8 spaces to the left. Okay, and that is going to be negative 8. Now, use the same process to locate the opposite of negative 8. Well, if we went 8 spaces to the left to find negative 8, I'm going to go back 8 spaces to the right, and it's going to give me positive 8 again. So, when they ask you the opposite of an opposite of a number is the first number you started with, or the original number. Okay? Now we're going to go on to absolute value. The absolute value of a number is the distance between the number and 0 on the number line. A number and its opposite have the same absolute value. Okay, this is the most important part of the next section. So let's go down and see if we can try a couple of examples together. The absolute value of 10 is written as the absolute value of 10. They're two straight lines. On the number line, count the number of units from 10 to 0. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units from 0 to 10. How many units is 10 from 0? That is what absolute value is. 10, the absolute value of 10 is 10. Okay, because 10 is 10 units away from 0. What other number has an absolute value of 10? Well, if you go to the right 10, you could go to the left 10 spaces, okay? The absolute value of negative 10 is also going to give you 10 as an answer, because negative 10 is 10 spaces away, okay? And this number is going to remain positive because you're finding out how many spaces the number is away from 0, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spaces away. Let's flip the page and see if we can do some more together. Okay, complete the following chart. I'm going to do the first one with you, and then you can do 2 and 3 with your partner. Hit pause on the video, and then watch for the answers. So the number they're starting us with is negative 6. The absolute value of negative 6, if I was going to look at a number line, remember 6 is how far a number is away. Absolute value is the number of spaces a number is away from 0. Negative 6 is a total of 6 spaces away from 0. Okay, so if you look 6 spaces in the other direction, the absolute value of 6 is also going to give you the answer of 6. Okay, so I want you to pause it, and I want you to try numbers 2 and 3 on your own with your partner. Then I want you to hit play and check and see if you got the answers right. Okay, so the absolute value of 8, okay, I'm going to look at my number line. You always start at your 0. The number 8 has an absolute value of 8. It's 8 spaces away from 0. There is another number that's 8 spaces away from 0. The absolute value of negative 8 is also 8. Okay? Now, the absolute value of negative 1 is 1 space away from 0. So the answer to that would be 1. Okay? So here, the other number that's 1 space away from 0 is 1. So the absolute value of 1 is 1. Okay? I'm going to give you some notes on this, and then I'm going to give you some challenge problems. Okay? I want you to look at the absolute value of negative 5 and the absolute value of 5. All you have to think to yourself here is, how far is negative 5 away from 0? Negative 5 is a total of 5 spaces away from 0. Now look at this one. The absolute value of 5, positive 5. That's also 5 spaces away from 0. So I want you to take notes. The absolute value of negative numbers is always positive. The absolute value of positive numbers is also always positive. And this might help you. Distance really can never be negative. Okay, the distance from 0 is always going to be positive. And here's just a challenge question. Okay, so I want you to try this with your partner, and to close the lesson today, Mrs. Kramer is going to give you the answer to this problem. You may try the problem set now with your partner. Great job today.